Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos once again. If you have been reading through the Torah portion this week, Vayakhel, you would be forgiven for thinking that you had stepped into Groundhog Day. For those who have seen the movie, for younger people, Bill Murray, classic, you've got to see it, Groundhog Day, it's a legend. That it just seems like things are on auto repeat. A couple of weeks ago, we had the instruction to build the Mishkan, the sanctuary, the holy space at the center of the camp of the Israelites. Each of the items were described in their detail, how exactly one should build an ark or a menorah, what the fabrics were that were to be used for the screening and the curtains, etc. And here we are again, baboom, Mishkan mania, back again. It's almost like we've stepped into a time zone. So to help clarify, what we read a few weeks ago and over a few weeks was the instruction to build the Mishkan. Now they are finally building the Mishkan, which is a good thing. And this will accompany the children of Israel for 40 years as they make their way through the desert on the way to the promised land. The word mikdash is familiar to us because of the root kuf daled shin. On a Friday night we make kiddush. We bless the wine in honor of Shabbat. We make it holy through the blessing over wine. And this is the same root as mikdash, a holy space. And then the question is, well, how can objects be holy? I get that we are supposed to be kedoshim, holy people, because God is holy. We are supposed to be holy too. How can an object be holy? Can a microphone be holy? Can a cell phone be holy? Can a building be holy? Judaism is very wary of us turning objects into idols. So what is it about this holiness of space that we are instructed, or that they, our ancestors, were instructed to build? It reminds me of that joke of the scientist who declared in a press release to all of the world that God might be alive, God might be dead, but God is no longer needed because we, science, are able to do everything that God did once. In fact, now we can actually create life. So who needs God anyway? And so all of the press were gathered around, and the lead scientist who had declared this controversial statement to all of the world stands up in front in a lab coat with all of the impressive instruments arrayed in front, about to create life. And the scientist says, "I'm so glad that you're all here, for this moment is very important. I am going to show you exactly why God is not needed in this world. I am going to create life in front of your eyes. I will start by taking a little bit of this soil over here," and then a big booming voice fills the room and says, "Get your own soil." So it takes a while. So God, who created everything, has given us the ability to be co-creators in the world, to take the soil and to take the objects that we find around in this world and to turn them into something that has the potential to have kedusha, that has the potential to be holy. So the Torah portion begins in the early verses reminding the Israelites to keep Shabbat, but also to invite all of those who are nedivat lev, all of those whose heart moves them, to bring gifts, offerings to the sanctuary for the creation of this mikdash. And that, to me, epitomizes what holiness can be in terms of objects, is that we might have in our pocket a lump of gold. Just checking if I have got one. No. What a pity. But in the Torah portion, the Israelites are asked to bring gold, to bring silver and copper, to bring beautiful fabrics, to make offerings that would be used in the construction of this holy space, not as a tax or not as a grudge give. If your heart moved you, so you were to bring. And this surely is why this Torah portion begins with Vayakhel, with that word kihila, community. That community, and there are many ways that we build community, communities are made up of people who open their hearts and give. That's the way that communities are built. And that's the way that we can make holy a space. So a building is just a building. It's bricks and mortar. It may be here for another 10 or 50 years. But what makes the building holy is what happens inside the building. It's what the people bring into the building. It's the hearts that open in that building in order to create community. So on this Shabbat Vayakhel, may we have the opportunity to reflect on the ways that we want to open our hearts in the many different communities that we are part of and belong to. What is it that we contribute? How is it that we can make that space a holy space for those who then are able to step into it? Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good Shabbos. So we're moving to